friends. This is another episode of Empire of Lies, where we discuss manipulation and disinformation in Russian media, Dronophobia and the Russian trace, how Kremlin propaganda turns chaos into a tool of pressure. Russian television is once again painting the world a picture of Moscow as an innocent victim and Europe as hysterical and weak. In the latest episode of 60 Minutes, Olga Skabeeva, with her usual sarcastic smile, declares, "Dronophobia has officially taken over Europe." The incidents in Scandinavia prompted this when major airports in Denmark and Norway were forced to close their airspace for hours due to unidentified objects. No one saw any drones, there's no evidence, but on air it's all turning into mass hysteria. Skabeeva then jumps to the topic of Estonia, where a Russian MiG-31 aircraft was recorded violating its airspace. 12 minutes of flight in NATO skies, and already a whole hurricane of diplomatic statements. But Russian propaganda presents this not as a serious violation of international law, but as a farce, like Colin Powell's test tube with fabricated evidence. Fear is turned into ridicule. This ploy works subtly. Europe reacts anxiously to real threats. Airports are shut down. The NATO Council meets. Defense ministers make harsh statements. But the Russian studio turns it into a comedy. Nobody saw the drones. Hysteria. Russophobes are making this up. For Russian viewers, this isn't just ridicule, it's a psychological weapon. It instills a sense of superiority. Let them in Europe be afraid of phantoms. We are strong and calm. In reality, it's a dangerous substitution, because this isn't about phantoms, but about testing the alliance's security systems and defense capabilities, testing NATO's strength. It's noteworthy that it's the Western experts quoted in the report who call such incidents what they are, a deliberate testing of the limits of what's permissible. Russia launches drones or aircraft near NATO borders, disables transponders, and violates communication protocols. It's a risky game on a millimetre-wide field where a mistake can lead to a direct military confrontation. But on Skabeeva's airwaves, this turns into mockery. Estonia, with its 7,200-strong army, has decided to challenge Moscow. Poland is intimidating Moscow, but only if all its allies stand up for it. The subtext is clear. Small European states are insignificant, NATO is disunited, and Russia is playing on a field of great power. Isolating Europe is Moscow's goal. In reality, we are witnessing a systemic strategy. Russia is creating a chain of border incidents. Drones in Denmark, fighter jets in Estonia, UAV wreckage in Poland. All of this should create weariness and doubt among Europeans. Is it worth escalating over trifles? Moscow is counting on some capital city to decide one day it's easier to turn a blind eye than risk war. This is the poison of propaganda. It convinces its own audiences that the West is weak, while instilling in European societies the idea that Russia will provoke anyway, and therefore resistance is pointless. Why this is dangerous for Europe? It's important for Europeans to see this not as a farce, but as a pattern. 1. Drones and MiGs are no accident. This is a consistent test of NATO's readiness to respond. 2. Laughter in Russian studios is a mask of fear. The Kremlin understands that it cannot seriously withstand a head-on collision with NATO, so it plays on nerves and divisions. 3. The goal is disunity. Moscow dreams of Poland, Estonia or Lithuania being left alone, while the major European states choose not to interfere. Hello, dear friends and comrades. Live on Air, your favourite programme, 60 Minutes on hot lights. So, Dronophobia has apparently officially taken over Europe. Mysterious UAVs, allegedly of Russian origin, have appeared in the skies over Denmark and Norway this time. However, no one has actually seen the drones themselves. Only certain unidentified objects have been reliably spotted, And even then, only on radar. But fear is everything. Scandinavia's two largest airports, Oslo and Copenhagen, were suspended for several hours. Dozens of flights were delayed, and thousands of people were stranded. The mysterious drones themselves literally vanished without a trace. Copenhagen police declared the UAVs simply vanished. Not a single drone has been found to date. Our response is solidarity and firmness. Today, Europe has no right to allow Russian propaganda to turn a real threat into a joke. A threat to airport security is not a joke. Violating NATO airspace is not hysteria, but a challenge to international law. Skabeeva can mock dronophobia as much as she likes, but every one of her stories reflects the Kremlin's fear. Fear of European unity. Fear that Brussels, Berlin and Warsaw will understand that it is firmness, not concessions, that deters the aggressor. Russian propaganda lives by the rule: first deny, then ridicule, then blame. Today, its targets are drones and fighter jets. This was the program Empire of Lies. See you soon.